Well, hello, happy Talk About It Tuesday. I'm Carmelita Turner, the realest realtor you know. And on this Talk About It Tuesday, yes, I am bringing the real, as I always do. I hope everyone is having a wonderful pre inauguration day. We know that tomorrow our president elect and vice president will be inaugurated into their new positions, and I am confident that all will go just fine. But for today, I wanted to have some more story time and highlight some incidents and personalities that have kind of risen to the forefront since the attempted coup on January the 6th. I call things as they are at our nation's capital, and how that pertains to not only me as the realist realtor, but also to you as an American. Yes, I am an American patriot. Take a good look at this face. We do look like this. So, let me start with a personality that maybe many of you have heard about. And I've got my notes here today because we're going to unpack a great deal. Jenna Ryan, a fellow foxy 50-year-old like myself. I know, don't get it twisted. Y'all ain't know. I had to tell y'all my age, but I know I look good for 50. Black don't crack. You already know. She's from Texas, and she is a Trump supporter. And she flew into our nation's capital, landed at the airport that is less than 10 minutes from my own home in a private jet that she chartered with some other folks, three other friends or whatever. I'm sorry, I did say she's a real estate broker in Texas, Frisco, Texas, I believe to be exact. So I really wanted to start with this story because there's such of a huge misconception about what I do as a realtor, and not just as a realtor, but as a Black female realtor in the industry. There is a huge misconception. There are a lot of things that you all aren't privy to behind the scenes. So I wanted to kind of use Jenna Ryan as an example of this. So Jenna not only flew to the nation's capital, she checked into the Westin Hotel. I've had numerous staycations there myself. I actually like the Westin. I'm a Westin club member. So she was comfortable, enjoying her time as she should. So many people come to our nation's capital. I go there frequently because I live 8 minutes from there. And I think we all should benefit from enjoying our national treasures. And that's why we should travel more, not only in our own country, but also abroad. She said that she came at the president's request. So I guess a Twitter shout out constitutes a request. So in her mind, that was him, asking all of his supporters to come to the nation's capital, which they did on January the 6th for the Stop the Steal rally. That is what they called it. Now, I don't know how many of you understand the training and education we go through, number one, to become an agent. But then there are additional things we must go through for those of us who want to then become brokers. So anyone that operates as a licensed credentialed agent or a broker, one would enter into a negotiation assuming they have a certain level of understanding, intellect, and ability to kind of focus on facts and not fiction. Okay, back to Jenna Ryan. Having said that, so she goes to the Stop the Steal rally, checked out of the Westin, went to the rally along with, many of other people. And she basically said that she was answering the president's request when they walked down to the nation's capital and became homegrown terrorists and broke numerous federal laws, attacked police officers, destroyed federal government property, totally blighted the reputation of our country, and wreaked mayhem and chaos on the Capitol, threatening the lives of the representatives that were there, so on and so forth. This real estate broker from Texas, okay? So she basically says, because she was caught Of course, because of this social media. Let me tell you what she does. She not only was filming herself, you can go and check her social media feed. And let me be real clear, I ain't do but so much checking into Jenna Ryan. I don't have to. That's the misconception about what I do as the realest realtor. I meet plenty of Jenna Ryans in the course of doing business on behalf of my clients. So I've seen a Jenna Ryan a time or two. I've dealt with a Jenna Ryan a time or two. So that is why I remain ever educated and ever able to clearly let you know where I stand and how you will do business with me. Because let me be clear, this ain't personal, it's business. That's the first thing for the Realest Realtor. She, of course, was live streaming their walk down. So for those of you who've been here, to walk from the White House down to the Capitol, it's a straight shot. It's not like a huge walk. So they're walking down to the Capitol. I mean, it's probably about an 8-9 minute walk, okay? But it's doable because it's just a straight shot. And so they're filming themselves the whole time. And she's basically making these comments about we are about to go storm the Capitol. These are her words I'm reading, not mine. She said, once she was arrested, of course, that the president asked her to fly there. I don't know that he has Jenna's number on speed dial, but he might. I don't know. I could be wrong. So they're walking down to the Capitol, and so she says that they're, going to go down to storm this Capitol. Then she tweets, "We just stormed the Capitol. It was one of the best days of my life. We did it. It was fabulous. I'm a patriot. We're on the U.S. Capitol steps having the time of our lives. Excuse me for being a Trump fan." These are tweets, her tweets, okay? I'm reading her words. She even made comments. Oh, she took a picture of herself outside of a busted window with the peace sign. Y- y'all just busted out the windows at the Capitol and beat people up, but peace is the tone for the day. Oh, okay. Okay. She also says that she made a comment, "We are going to get this country back, dead or alive." These are her words that I'm reading. These aren't my words. I'm not making these words up. But yet, and I'm not going to read much more. You can go and research Jenna Ryan on your own. But she feels that she, along with everyone else that answered the president's call, should be granted a pardon for their terroristic and illegal behaviors. Listen, sis, the fact that y'all Bamas are still alive surprises me. There's that part. But the caucasity, as my girl Autumn Joy says from WHUR, shout out to Autumn Joy, the caucasity is amazing to me. This, yet again, just not only demonstrates, it over demonstrates. I don't think white privilege is not the word. It is white advantage. You know, the advantage, because had that been a group of black, first of all, and I'm going to get to that in my third point, this wouldn't have been a situation where black people would have done that. So there's that part. Okay, there's that part. But she feels that she deserves a pardon. She's lost her business. Boo, you should have. We also have a code of ethics that we must adhere to. You know that National Association of Realtors that we all pay dues to? We have a code of ethics, not just our national ethics. We also have state and local associations. Yeah, we pay money to a lot of people. That's why I said, don't get it twisted. That's another misconception about realtors. Everyone thinks we're out here rolling in the dough. This is one of the most expensive professions to be in. Yes, it yields wonderful results for those who are actively involved in the industry and executing. But trust me, there are hurdles, there are roadblocks. There are people like Jenna Ryan that you encounter on a regular basis. So she really feels like she is deserving of a pardon because she feels like she's done nothing wrong. Mind you, she actually entered the Capitol. She was filming herself in the Capitol, cussing at police officers. Like, homegirl was getting grimy with it. I would never. I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a daughter. I would have been embarrassed if my family saw me behaving the way she was behaving. And don't get it twisted now. I'm a good person and I just cuss a little bit. So don't think I can get grimy with it. But it's only as needed, of course. Don't clutch your pearls too fast. But I would never, ever just live stream myself doing those types of things and then think I need a pardon. She actually said not only does she deserve a pardon, but everyone that went there that day deserves a pardon because the president asked them to go. Ma'am, ma'am, ma'am. Seriously, the caucasity, white advantage. And listen, you remember when I said the education and time it takes to not only become a realtor, but a broker? You think she could separate fact from fiction. But here's the funny thing, and this is why we're focusing on mindset. The brain only knows what we tell it. So the more I started thinking about Jenna Ryan, I'm like, you know what? She really believes this. Like, real talk. She believes this. And if you look at her Twitter feed, she's not a broker I would have hung my license under because she's very clear about where she stands. I don't care that, listen, I don't have anything against Trump supporters. Hell, Trump is a businessman like everybody else. I've said that from day one. So I don't have any problems with that. But it is when you cannot honestly differentiate fact from fiction, that's where it falls apart for me. Am I surprised about people that are racist bastards? Nope. Am I surprised by people that are just idiots? Nope. Am I surprised by people that believe this election was stolen or that Donald Trump was the winner or what? Nope. But here's where it separates for me. It gets scary when these people truly can't separate fact from fiction and the person that they seem to hold as their, leader, if, and I say that loosely, kind of continues to fuel them false information. And then you couple that with their white advantage, their caucasity. So they feel like they are able to do whatever they want to do, including smearing their feces on the walls of the Capitol, urinating in the offices of the Capitol, beating police officers and saying they should kill them with their own guns, breaking the windows of a federal building, and they don't see anything wrong with that. Jenna Ryan, what if you had done that to someone's home, especially in Texas? I thought they could shoot you. Isn't that the law in Texas? So if you can't do that to someone's home, what makes you think you could do that to a federal building? And the fact that even today, she feels like she deserves this pardon. She tweeted something recently about the fact, I guess she was writing a self-help book. This girl, she's done a little bit of everything. She went to some Christian college somewhere. The irony of that, right? Don't get me started on that part. But, she tweeted that because of this incident, not only has she lost her business, but now they're not going to publish her self-help book. Boo. The only person you need to self-help is yourself. You need to help yourself, Jenna Ryan. But let me tell you why it bothers me about a Jenna Ryan, okay? I'm going to get to my next point. For so long, people have been very comfortable saying to me, oh, Carmellita, you shouldn't say that, you only advocate for Black people. Why? That's who I advocate for first because I'm Black. That's what everybody else does for their group. Why shouldn't I say that? Obviously, Jenna Ryan advocates for, what do you call them, Trumpers. I don't know what they are. So I'm like, it doesn't mean I don't advocate for other people that need my help or need my services. It just means that I seek to advocate and help Blacks first because I am Black. It only makes sense. That really only makes sense. People that are like me. But then when you see situations like this with Jenna Ryan, it's like nobody checked her at any point along the way. And like I said last week, this situation that happened on January 6th, It's not our problem, Black people. We got enough stuff to work on. The problem is the silence and the complacency of all of the people in Jenna Ryan's circle who never checked her, who never challenged her to say, well, Jenna, let's look at this, realistically. Let's try to, look at this factually. Because sometimes that's needed. Now, does that always help? No, it doesn't. But it's at least worth a try. And there could have been people at some point along the way who maybe tried to speak with her. I am not sure. I cannot confirm or deny that. But I can get to my next point, which is that behaviors like we saw of the terrorists, the homegrown terrorists at the Capitol, people like Jenna Ryan, even my own behaviors, many of which, even those of the Realest Realtor, these are not innate behaviors. These are behaviors that are taught. Let me tell you what I mean. Jenna Ryan wasn't born that way. Along the way, she was taught certain things, educated on certain belief systems. And like I said, the woman was quite accomplished. She had a marketing firm for many, many years that she grew from nothing. She's an expert in like WordPress, web design, things like that. She's an accomplished person. She's learned a lot of things along the way. So business-wise, she's quite accomplished. And I'll give credit where credit is due, right? Of course, she had a lot of white advantage along the way as well. I'm going to give her that one too. And so these beliefs that she's carrying, these thoughts, her mindset, she was taught this stuff somewhere along the way. Well, guess what? So was the Realest Realtor. But let me tell you the difference. Yes, I was taught to advocate for myself and my people. I was taught by my parents and my family to educate myself and give that education to others. I was taught to be honest and fair and ethical in everything that I do. That's what I was taught. I was taught not to touch or take things that didn't belong to me. I was taught that I could do anything I want and that my family, my tribe, they would support me as long as what I was doing did not harm anyone else and was ethical, honest, on the up and up. And they have held true to that to this day. So that's the difference between a Carmellita Turner, the Realest Realtor, and a Jenna Ryan, real estate broker. We were taught different things. We may exist in the same industry, but our life lessons have been different. You sit beside people every day. They were taught certain things that maybe you were not. Maybe there's some things that we're taught that are similar, and that's fine. But let me tell you what you better make a decision to do. And listen, folks, I don't know how more real I can be about this, because very soon, things are shifting in a way that very soon, all of this free knowledge that I'm giving you guys, it's going to go away, because I'm going to be in a different format and on a different platform. So a lot of what I come on here and share with you guys, it's going to stop. And I don't want you to miss the lesson. I want to teach you something you can work with, right? She's flying on private jets and she's a real estate investor herself. She's gained a great deal of wealth through, what do I always say to you guys? God ain't making more dirt. You need to own more dirt and doors. Look, I ain't new to this. I'm true to this. And I'm trying to keep my frustration at bay, because as much as I love my people, some days I have to still love my people. That's all I'm going to say. I have offered many books that I definitely recommend that you have in your library. Just as Jenna was taught certain lessons, just as I was taught certain lessons, lessons of wealth, we're not born with. They're not innate. You must educate yourself. You have to be taught these lessons. You must align with people who will fight for you and advocate for you and show you the way. So I want to offer again today 2 books that I really feel you need in your library. If you don't have them, if you're scrolling on your phone watching me now, When you finish watching this video, scroll on over to Amazon and pick them up. What would the Rockefellers do? I know it probably looks backwards to you guys on there, but what would the Rockefellers do? You see, my books are, look, I use these books all the time. You see, look, when I tell you, this ain't no for play. These are resources for me and my little, I had to show you my little bookmark. Reminds me of my own baby. Oh my goodness. Hey, Haley. Empowernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson. Look, can I tell you, like, stop, get out of here. Look at all the, cut it out. I'm in this book every day. Are you kidding me? Every day. So for those of you that open your Bible first thing in the morning, keep doing it and then open up something else. On that note, on this Talk About It Tuesday, when I first started, all of my social media accounts, they've been, updated, and folks, my social media, everything changes when you start getting to a different level. But the one quote I used to always have on my social media, and you know what, now that I'm talking about this, I think I'm going to go back to it because it is true to who I am and my core, was by Louis Glickman. And I'm going to talk a little more about Louis Glickman tomorrow on my podcast because y'all need to know who Louis Glickman was and what his mindset looked like until the age of 94. He didn't die until 1999. He was 94 years old. Yeah. He was a real estate investor and a philanthropist. The one quote that used to be on all of my social media from him was, "The greatest investment on earth is earth." Folks, it's time to learn new lessons. It's time to educate yourself on building wealth for you and your family. Make sure that you are subscribing to our YouTube channel called Carmellita. Hit that notification bell so that you will know when we're live and uploading new content. And please join us tomorrow on Anchor or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast for the Realest Realtor podcast each and every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Take care, folks. Enjoy the rest of your Talk About It Tuesday.